No one's made a formal declaration of war, but it looks and sounds like war in central Tehran. Clouds of smoke, the crack of high explosives, as the Americans and the Israelis bring their operation to the heart of the capital city. And if the elimination of senior Iranian leaders was their chief objective, it seems they've achieved their goal.
Allahu Akbar.
The death of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei was acknowledged on state television at 4 a.m. Here the presenter recites a prayer for the dead, but he's barely able to finish it.
Inna lillah.
Yet the demise of the Supreme Leader was met with pockets of exuberance and joy throughout the country. Congratulations on our freedom, cries one. Am I dreaming? Hello to the new world, shouts another in southern Iran, where they knock down a monument to Ayatollah Khamenei, the founder of the Islamic Republic. Some cheered from their balconies, for the Supreme Leader ruled with an iron fist. An autocrat ready to repress and kill his own people. But in this deeply polarized society, he was also a revered religious figure, a man invested with the authority of the divine. In Tehran's Revolution Square, his supporters spoke of their anger and deep shock.
We were saying to ourselves all night that his death must be a lie. Unfortunately, it was the truth.
We lost our dearest person. We lost our elder. We lost our master. That's why we've gathered here.
President Trump says he's given Iranians the opportunity to take back their country. But a significant number here back the existing regime, which the US-led coalition is now trying to destroy. These are the remains of police headquarters. This is the office where political dissidents have been sentenced to death. And here we see the implosion of the detention facility used by the paramilitary police. Yet a new leadership council has been appointed, and this man, Ali Larijani, will play an instrumental role. He's a top national security official. We Iranians have faced worse than this, said Larijani, but his defiance will make him a target. The regime looks vulnerable. The Americans and the Israelis are operating with total air superiority. But the clerics remain, and they control the streets.
So you can see over there, looks like there has been some kind of impact. We can see flames and we can see black smoke within the perimeter of the Erbil airport. This is one of the few places in Iraq where there are still U.S. troops stationed. Back in January, it was the end of a 2-year withdrawal of U.S. troops, but this being the Kurdish Autonomous Region, there are still some U.S. servicemen and women here. If you look, you can see that black smoke. We heard just moments ago as well, air defenses going off, and there has been pretty steady activity, at least one impact that we're aware of, possibly more. Again, not clear if these were rockets which are being flown over here, if it was drones potentially. There have been missiles, and Erbil is in a unique position because they're coming under fire not just from Iran but also from Iran-backed militias inside Iraq.
What happens next is spelled out pretty clearly in the constitution of Iran. The leadership council of 3 men is now in place. That's the president, the head of the judiciary, and a member of the Guardian Council. And that member has been chosen to be Ali Reza Arafi. Next, the Assembly of Experts will hold an election. That's a body of 88 senior clerics. They will decide who the next supreme leader is. And they've only been tasked with this once before, in 1989. When Ayatollah Ali Khamenei died. And you can imagine that any gathering of these men would be considered a target by the US and Israel, so it will be a very complex process. Ali Larijani, the country's top national security official, he is expected to play a significant role in this process. He was a very close advisor of the late supreme leader. He is not thought to be a contender to take power himself, but he was reportedly entrusted by the late leader with ensuring the survival of the regime in these circumstances. And as part of that effort, he reportedly has a 4-layer succession plan for every senior government and military position in the country. There are a number of names being discussed. Of course, it's not known yet who the board will choose, how the council. But according to the New York Times, there are 3 possible contenders who were indeed chosen by Khamenei himself. They include Hassan Khomeini, a younger cleric, the grandson of the first supreme leader. He's considered a relative moderate. The second name is Gholam Hossein Mohseni Ejei. He's the head of the judiciary, one of the 3 members of the leadership council currently in charge. There is a third name mentioned by the New York Times, Ali Ashgar Hejazi. He was the chief of staff for the supreme leader, but yesterday Israel said he had been killed. Khamenei's son's name has also been mentioned in some circles, but it's understood that he was not his father's preferred choice.